Eh?
See.
Guy. Why are you trying to piss off with this outfit?
What do you mean? It took me 2 hours to put this on.
Don't try it again. What's this?
There's nothing wrong with it now.
Jesus. What's the occasion?
Well, there's this girl.
Hey.
I like her.
So is she. You like her, huh?
Yeah, she's smart.
Smart. Oh, the smart girls are difficult to.
Come on, Junior, stop now. Stop.
Girl, what are you talking about? In everything that you do, one advice. Put it in!
The movie starts with our guy Bidemi, or Biddy, as everyone calls him, waking up to the sound of his phone ringing early in the morning. He picks up, sounding like someone who hasn't had a proper night's sleep in days, and quickly says he's on his way before rushing out. But guys, wait until you see where he's actually going. The scene shifts and we see Biddy helping his elder brother, Junior, into the house. The man is completely wasted. And when I say helping, I mean this man is practically carrying Junior's entire body weight. Junior is so drunk, he's moving like a bag of beans with legs. With the help of their mom, Biddy finally manages to get him inside and onto the bed. He gently covers him with a blanket, pauses for a second, then shakes his head with that disappointed, not again look. Nobody says a word, but that little moment tells you everything you need to know. This clearly isn't Junior's first rodeo. Right from the opening scene, you can already tell who the responsible one in this family is. The next morning, Biddy is having breakfast when his mom walks in complaining about a headache. According to her, the walls in their apartment are so thin that every little noise from the neighbors finds its way straight into her room. She suggests switching rooms with Biddy again, but he reminds her they've already tried that before. Instead, she comes up with a completely different solution. Let's move. Omo, can you imagine? Instead of looking for Panadol, Madame is already looking for a new house. She immediately turns the conversation to Biddy's apps, insisting that he should create one, sell it, and make enough money for them to move into a better house. She even starts talking about all the money people are making from app, like software development is something you finish before lunch. Biddy tries explaining that tech doesn't work that way, that building an app takes time and finding the right buyer isn't as simple as people think. But Mommy isn't interested in excuses. As far as she's concerned, her son is a software developer, so money should naturally be flowing. Later that morning, Junior finally wakes up, and true to his character, he is already on another drink. Biddy walks into his room to check on him, greets him with a cheerful "good morning, bro," and Junior casually replies, "Bidman." The brothers clearly have a good relationship, despite how different they are. Biddy is quiet, responsible, and always looking after everyone, while Junior seems to take life one bottle at a time. Not long into the conversation, Junior finally gets to the chase. He needs money. Again. He asks Biddy to credit him, promising he'll pay everything back. Biddy doesn't even argue. He simply gives him that familiar, "I've heard this story before" look before agreeing. Honestly, Junior is the definition of a deadbeat elder brother. 28 years old, no job, just vibes and alcohol. Yet somehow, Biddy never stops showing up for him. The next day, Biddy and his mom are having breakfast when his phone suddenly rings. It's Daniel. The moment Biddy answers the call, you can tell something good has happened. Daniel tells him that someone has finally made an offer for his app and wants to discuss buying it. Mommy doesn't even wait for him to end the call before she starts asking questions. What happened? Who was that? When Biddy explains that he finally has a potential buyer, her face lights up immediately. She starts talking about moving into a better house as though the deal has already been signed. But she doesn't stop there. Madame has already started planning the kind of house they should rent. According to her, it must have a gazebo. Not just any gazebo, one fashioned after the ones we see in London. My people, the money hasn't even entered anybody's account, but mommy has already furnished the new house in her head. But before then, quick disclaimer, this recap is for educational purposes only. Our Dear Biddy is from Sonia Uche TV and produced by Sonia Uche herself. This recap is not meant to replace the full movie, nor should it stop you from watching the full movie. Also, spoilers ahead. If you are new here, please subscribe, like the video, and also turn on the notification icon. Now, back to the story. Later that day, Biddy heads to the supermarket to buy the ingredients his mom asked for. While shopping, he notices a young lady arguing with the cashier over the price of an item. Apparently, the amount displayed on the shelf is different from what the system is showing at the checkout, and neither of them is willing to back down. The cashier insists the system is correct. The lady insists the shelf price should be honored. As the argument continues, Biddy quietly steps in. Being the tech guy that he is, he suggests the problem might just be a server issue and offers to help refresh the system. That's when the lady responds with tech jargon of her own. She starts talking about API keys, OIDC, servers and backend issues, and Biddy immediately realizes she is also in tech. The conversation quickly shifts from an argument about prices to two tech developers speaking the same language. Once everything is sorted, they both leave the supermarket together, and outside, the lady finally introduces herself properly. Her name is Joanna, although everyone calls her Jojo. The two of them chat for a bit, and you can already tell there's an instant connection. Biddy is clearly interested, but true to his nature, he's trying not to make it too obvious. After that, Biddy heads back home. Unfortunately, the good mood doesn't last for long. The moment he steps inside, mommy is already waiting for him. So, how much? She isn't asking whether the meeting went well. She isn't asking if he's hungry. She wants figures. When Biddy explains that the offer was less than half of what the app was actually worth, mommy's excitement disappears immediately. She can't understand why he turned it down, insisting that some money is better than no money. Meanwhile, Biddy tries explaining that he spent too much time building the app to sell it that cheaply. But mommy isn't convinced. She is more concerned about the things she was already planning to buy. Even the designer bag she had mentally budgeted suddenly disappears. Thankfully, Junior sees things differently. Instead of criticizing Biddy, he encourages him to be patient and wait for the right buyer. He reminds him that if the app is truly that much, someone else will eventually see its value. It's one of the few moments where Junior actually sounds like the older brother. Later, Biddy gets a call from Jojo. She tells him not to let the rejected offer get to him, because investors can be real asses sometimes. According to her, some of them deliberately throw out ridiculously low offers, hoping desperate developers will accept without thinking twice. She encourages Biddy not to settle for anything less than what his work is worth. If he believes the app is valuable, then he should wait for someone who's willing to pay for that value. Before ending the call, Jojo suggests they collaborate on a project together. And then she casually asks if he'd like to hang out the next day. Our guy tries to play it cool, but the excitement is written all over his face. The next day, which is the day of the date, Biddy picks an outfit that he seems pretty proud of. Unfortunately, Junior sees it. The moment he steps out of his room, Junior looks him up and down before asking, "Why are you trying to piss me off with this outfit?" Oh, Mo. He doesn't even pretend to be nice. According to Junior, the clothes are trash and belong in the gutter. Biddy sheepishly admits he's going out with a girl, and that's when Junior realizes why he's suddenly putting so much effort into his appearance. Instead of laughing at him, Junior takes matters into his own hands and styles him until he finally has him looking like someone who's actually ready for a date. Say what you want about Junior, but the man definitely knows how to dress. The date goes surprisingly well. Jojo and Bide immediately settle into an easy conversation. She tells him a funny story about how her friends once hyped her up to confront a guy they all thought was rude. They promised to stand behind her, but the moment the man stood up, every single one of them disappeared, leaving her to face him alone. Bide can't help but laughing. For the most part of the conversation, he simply listens while Jojo does the talking. She eventually points it out herself, joking that she doesn't mind because she can easily talk for the both of us. The more they talk, the more comfortable they become around each other. They discover they have a lot in common, especially when it comes to tech, and before they part ways, they agree to meet again on Thursday to discuss their collaboration. When Bide gets home, Junior is waiting with the biggest grin on his face. Without giving Bide any chance to explain himself, he announces to their mom that his son has gone out with a girl. Mommy's ears immediately stand up. "So, you have a girlfriend and you're not telling me?" Bide quickly explains that Jojo is just a friend, but Mommy isn't convinced. She insists that if they're really just friends, then there should be no problem inviting her over for dinner. Not wanting to argue, Bide later brings it up with Jojo. She agrees to come, but on one condition. If they're going to keep working together, then he has to agree to the collaboration. Bide offers to help her for free, but Jojo refuses immediately. She reminds him of something she's already tried to teach him once before. Always charge what you're worth. Always. It's a simple piece of advice, but one that perfectly sums up Bide's biggest weakness. He's so used to putting other people first that he rarely stops to consider the value of his own time and skills. The dinner night finally arrives, and Bide is doing everything he can to make sure things go smoothly. He's busy setting the table while Mommy walks around the house making last-minute preparations. Well, if you can even call them preparations. She's more interested in warning Bide than welcoming his guest. According to her, girls these days have mastered the art of pretending to be in love when all they're really after is a man's pocket. Bide tries not to argue, but it's obvious his mom has already judged Jojo before they've even met. A few moments later, the doorbell rings. Bide opens the door, welcomes Jojo inside, and introduces her to everyone. The first person she meets is Junior. After the introductions, she pauses for a second and asks the question everyone was probably thinking. "So, you are the elder brother and your name is Junior?" Everyone bursts into laughter. Even Junior laughs it off. With the introductions out of the way, they all eat. Bide is visibly nervous, probably praying this dinner ends without any drama. Unfortunately, that prayer is answered with a capital no. After everyone finishes eating, Bide gets up to clear the plates. Jojo casually asked if they don't have domestic staff to handle that. It was an innocent question, but Mommy doesn't take it that way. She immediately asks Jojo why that's any of her business, and the atmosphere changes almost instantly. The conversation becomes awkward, and Junior quickly tries to calm things down before it gets out of hand. Once they are all seated in the living room, Mommy begins asking Jojo questions about herself. She wants to know what she does for a living, and Jojo explains that she's also into tech. Junior, who has already become comfortable around her, starts calling her Jojo and even offers her a drink. She accepts. Mommy notices immediately. You know that Nigerian parent look that says, "So, you drink alcohol too?" The expression on her face says it all. She clearly isn't impressed. By the end of the evening, Jojo leaves on good terms with Bide and Junior. Mommy? Not so much. It's obvious she doesn't approve of the relationship and she doesn't seem interested in changing her mind anytime soon.
Meanwhile, Biddy and Jojo continue working together on their app. As they spend more time together, Jojo begins noticing certain things about Biddy's life that he seems completely used to. One day, she discovers that Biddy has been helping his friend Kola with SQL work without charging him a kobo. She can't believe it. She asks him why he's constantly giving away his skills for free, especially when people are willing to pay good money for them. Biddy simply shrugs it off. To him, he's just helping a friend. But Jojo sees things differently. She tells him that with the amount of talent he has, he should be making far more money than he currently is. Instead, he's always putting everyone else's needs before his own. According to her, he's slowly allowing himself to disappear into the expectations of his family and friends. Although Biddy doesn't say much, it's obvious how words stay with him. Their conversations become easier, their chemistry grows stronger, and before long, the friendship begins to blossom into something more. There's even a moment when Jojo casually calls him baby. Poor Biddy doesn't know what to do with himself. He just smiles awkwardly, while Jojo carries on like she didn't nearly make his heart skip a beat. A little while later, things finally seem to brighten up. Biddy arrives home with Joanna and everyone is gathered to celebrate. It's his birthday. And also, they finally received the news they've been waiting for. Their app has been sold. And this time, for a price that actually reflects the value of their hard work. So, it's a double celebration. For Biddy, it's a huge moment. All those late nights, rejected offers, and hours spent building the app have finally paid off. So the family gathers at home to celebrate both occasions. Everyone raises a glass to congratulate him. Well, almost everyone. Mommy's biggest concern isn't the birthday or the achievement. She wants to know exactly how much the app was sold for. Now for this woman. As they prepare for the toast, Mommy hands out glasses. One for herself, one for Biddy, one for Junior. Then she somehow forgets to bring one for Jojo. Whether it was intentional or not, I'll let you be the judge. After the celebration, Biddy and Joanna head into his room to continue talking. Everything seems peaceful until Mommy suddenly walks in. She tells Biddy she needs him to go and collect her clothes from the tailor. Biddy politely says he can go later because he's spending time with Joanna. He even suggests using a dispatch rider instead. The moment he says that, Mommy gives him one of those Nigerian parent looks. I'm sending you a message and you are talking about dispatch rider? Immediately, Biddy understands that this isn't really about the clothes. His mom simply wants him out of the room. Reluctantly, he leaves. The moment the door closes, Mommy turns to Jojo. She says she's been wanting to have a private conversation with her. Then she gets straight to the point. According to her, Jojo's influence on Biddy is becoming detrimental to the family's goals. Ever since she came into his life, Biddy has started changing, and Mommy doesn't like it one bit. Jojo listens quietly before responding. She tells Mommy that she loves Biddy and genuinely wants what's best for him. Then she says something that catches Mommy completely off guard. She tells her that anything threatening Biddy's peace and happiness automatically becomes her concern too. Mommy raises an eyebrow. So now you have purview over my son? The conversation becomes tense, but neither of them raises their voice. Both women stand their ground. One believes Biddy's first responsibility is to his family. The other believes he deserves a life of his own. A few minutes later, Biddy returns home after realizing the tailor already delivered the cloth. Mom says it's probably a mix-up. Obvious lie. He was about leaving when his mom says she wants to talk to him. Mommy wastes no time telling him that Jojo isn't good for him. She accuses him of trying to pull him away from his family and claims she's only interested in benefiting from him. This time, however, Biddy doesn't keep quiet. For the first time in the entire movie, he stands up to his mother. He tells her that the only place where he has ever truly felt used is inside his own home. The words hit hard. Mommy is left speechless. Without saying another word, Biddy walks away, leaving his mother to process everything he has just said. Biddy heads back to his room with Joanna, but the argument with his mother is still weighing heavily on his mind. Joanna can tell something is wrong. She asks what happened, and after a little hesitation, Biddy tells her about the confrontation with his mom. Joanna becomes visibly upset. In fact, she's so angry that she offers to go back outside and confront Mommy herself. Biddy quickly stops her. The last thing he wants is for the situation to get even worse. the two of them eventually sit on the bed and continue talking. The conversation slowly shifts from the argument to Biddy's past. He begins telling Joanna about Amara, giving us a little more insight into his previous experiences and why he handles relationships the way he does. One day, Biddy starts looking all over the house for Junior. He checks his room, nothing. He calls his phone, no answer. His mom also starts panicking. She joins the search, calling different people to see if anyone knows where Junior is. Then a video suddenly comes in. Biddy opens it and his heart sinks. Junior is tied up and badly beaten. The men in the video claim they've kidnapped him over a debt and won't let him go until they're paid. Mommy immediately breaks down in tears. She begs Biddy to do whatever it takes to save her brother. But Jojo isn't convinced. The whole thing feels suspicious to her. She points out that the timing is too convenient. Biddy has just made a huge amount of money from selling the app, and now, all of a sudden, Junior has been kidnapped over debt. She suspects they're loan sharks trying to cash in on the family's new fortune. Jojo advises Biddy not to rush into paying. She believes they should think things through first and find out exactly what's going on. But Biddy refuses. To him, it doesn't matter whether it is set up or not. If there's even the slightest chance that Junior's life is in danger, he's not willing to take that risk. The disagreement quickly turns into an argument. Jojo insists he's acting emotionally. Biddy insists she's asking him to gamble with his brother's life. Neither of them is willing to back down. Finally, Jojo reaches her limit. She looks at Biddy and quietly tells him that maybe he's simply not built for her. The words hang in the air for a moment before she turns around and walks away, leaving Biddy standing there, torn between the woman he loves and the family he can't abandon. Not long after, Junior is finally brought back home. He's covered in bruises, clearly shaken by everything he's been through. Biddy and his mom help him inside and settle him into bed. That night, Biddy refuses to leave his brother alone. Instead of sleeping in his own room, he stays there with Junior, keeping watch just in case he needs anything. The following morning, Junior wakes up and notices Biddy sleeping nearby. He gently wakes him up, and for a moment, things almost feel normal again. The two brothers begin talking quietly. There's no tension, no jokes, just an honest conversation. Then, Junior finally says the words that change the entire movie. Junior opens up about the pain he's been carrying for years. He tells Biddy that Uncle Roy raped him. Biddy freezes. He can barely process what he's hearing. But Junior isn't done. He reveals that the person who hurt him wasn't the only one who failed him. Their mother knew. She knew what Uncle Roy had done, but she chose to keep quiet because he was helping the family financially. In that moment, everything Biddy thought he knew about his family comes crashing down. Biddy can't believe what he's just heard. He keeps staring at Junior, hoping there's been some kind of misunderstanding, but there isn't. Junior tells him that Uncle Roy didn't abuse him just once. It happened more than once, and every time he was forced to keep quiet. Then he reveals the part that hurts the most. Mommy knew. According to Junior, Uncle Roy was helping the family financially at the time. He was assisting with the rent and other expenses, and instead of protecting her own son, their mother chose to protect the man paying the bills. Everything suddenly begins to make sense. The drinking, the reckless lifestyle. Junior wasn't just a lazy drunk. He was carrying years of pain that nobody knew about. Biddy is devastated. Without wasting another second, he marches straight to the living room and confronts his mother. He demands to know if what Junior said is true. At first, she tries to explain herself. She admits that she knew about the abuse, but says she felt trapped because Uncle Roy was the one helping them survive financially. She even says it only happened twice. That explanation only
only makes things worse. Biddy is horrified. He asked her how she could knowingly allow something like that happen to her own son just because someone was helping with bills. He tells her that every sacrifice she's always claimed to have made for the family was meaningless if it came at the expense of Junior's safety. For the first time, Mommy has no defense. The weight of everything she's done finally catches up with her. Broken and full of regret, she gets into Junior's room and apologizes. She admits she failed him and asks for his forgiveness. Junior listens quietly. The pain is still there, but after carrying that burden for so many years, hearing his mother finally admit the truth gives him a sense of relief. The family shares an emotional embrace, and although it doesn't erase the past, it's the first real step towards healing. Meanwhile, things between Biddy and Jojo are still unresolved. Junior makes up his mind. He's not about to sit back and watch his younger brother lose the one person who genuinely loved him. So, without telling Biddy, he heads straight to Joanna's house. When Joanna opens the door and sees Junior standing there, she's visibly surprised. After everything that has happened, he probably isn't the person she expected to see. He also tells her just one thing: "My brother needs you. He loves you." It's a short conversation, but it says everything that needs to be said. The next scene, Junior and Jojo arrive together at Biddy's house. The moment Mommy sees Jojo, she walks over to her. For a second, it looks like she's about to start another round of questioning. Instead, she stretches out her hand, then warmly holds Joanna's hand and says, "Welcome to our family." Talk about a complete turnaround. Just then, Biddy walks in and is pleasantly surprised to see Jojo standing there. Sensing the two of them need some privacy, Junior quickly drags Mommy away, leaving Biddy and Jojo alone. The two finally get a chance to talk. Jojo apologizes for walking away and for judging his family through the lens of her own experiences. Biddy listens, and before long, the two reconcile with a warm hug. Meanwhile, Junior and Mommy can't resist checking to see how things are going. They quietly peep from a distance, only to catch the two hugging. Safe to say, mission accomplished. In the final scene, Biddy and Junior share a quiet moment together. Junior raises his drink and smiles. Cheers to change, huh? And with that simple toast, the movie comes to an end. Omo, this movie really surprised me. Going in, I thought I was about to watch a simple love story between two software developers with a little family drama on the side. But as the story unfolded, it became clear that the romance wasn't even the heart of the movie. The real story was about family, trauma, healing, and learning where to draw the line between love and self-sacrifice. I also appreciate the fact that the movie addressed male sexual abuse. It's a topic that's rarely talked about, especially in our society, and I think this movie handled it in a way that encourages more conversations about it. Overall, I'd give Our Dear Biddy a 8.8/10. It starts like a light-hearted romance, but gradually unfolds into an emotional story about family, healing, forgiveness, and self-worth. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Biddy was too soft, or was he simply a good son caught in a difficult situation? And who was your MVP in the movie? Biddy, Jojo, Junior, or someone else? Let's gist in the comments. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more movie recaps. I'll see you in the next one.